Hello everyone, I am Amod and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video tutorial, we will explore the final playwright locator called getByAltText. So what do we understand by alt text here? So in HTML, alt is an attribute which stands for alternative text. We know that an attribute in a HTML web element adds extra meaning. For example, the placeholder attribute which we discussed in the last video shows a hint or instruction about the text box to the end users. So what is the purpose of alt attribute? So whenever we add any image to a web page, then we use this alt attribute, and in the value we generally pass a string which shows the information about the image. Let's take a very simple example. I have loaded CVS website and this CVS has a logo here. If we inspect this logo, then you can see it has been created using image tag, and this image tag contains an attribute alt, and the value of this alt attribute is CVS homepage. So basically this alt attribute used to display the information about the image, or when you click on this logo you will be navigated to CVS homepage. Now you might be thinking, why do we use it? So this is basically used by screen reader tools, so that these tools can read out the text to the users who cannot see the image properly, or if they are visually impaired. And we know that Playwright focuses a lot on user accessible concepts or user facing web elements, and getByAltText is one of the locator which is based on your accessibility. So I hope concept is clear. Now let's see how can you use this alt attribute with Playwright test. So I have a basic test ready where I am loading CVS website. Now we will locate this CVS logo using its alt text, and we'll try to fetch the value of this alt attribute using Playwright. So let me copy the alt text value, and here I can use await page dot get by alt text and pass the value. So similar to other locators, here also we can pass the option if you want an exact match. Otherwise, it will be case insensitive and it will be looked as a substring. So I'm not going to pass any option, and I am going to call get attribute method, and I want the value of alt attribute which I can store into a variable which I can declare using let, maybe alt value, and now I'm going to log it on the console. So console.log alt value. Let me run this simple program. Go to testing, and here under the basics I have this spec file. So let me quickly run it. So you can see CVS website has been loaded, and if you go to console it is giving error. That's fine. If you scroll up, then you can see it is actually finding two elements, and in the strict mode Playwright will complain if you find more than one element using one locator. So as of now, simple fix, I'm going to use nth here, and here I will pass 1 so that it will pick the first found web element. Let me quickly rerun this and see what happens this time. So this time you can see it is passed, and it is also logging the alt attribute value. If you read about this get by alt text locator, then at the bottom it says use this locator when your element supports alt text such as image and area elements. So what is area here? So area is also one of the tag in HTML, and this area tag is generally used with map tag. So the purpose of using this area tag within a map tag is to show clickable area on an image. So let me give you a real-time example. Suppose in future I start my own multinational company, and for that company I will create a website and I will add one contact page. On that contact page, I want to show the office locations. So I might create a page something like this. It shows that I have office in North America, I have office in South America, then Europe, Africa, and Australia. And if you click on this, then it will open my North America web page. Or if you click on Australia, then it is going to open Australia office location. If you inspect this image here, then you can see it has been created using map tag, and within this map we have area tags, and here we have shape attribute like rectangle, and here we have circle. So here you can see rectangle, but here for Australia we have circle. So Playwright says if you have area tag with alt attribute, there also you can use Playwright getByAltText locator. Let's try this now. So let's copy this HTML and I will duplicate this test block. Here let me change area and I'll put the URL. So this time I'm not going to get the attribute, but I want to click on that. So let me copy this alt value and I will put the value here and I will call the click method. Very simple. Now go to testing extension and under the getByAltText, let me run the second test. So you can see browser is already launched, and if you go to console, it is still waiting. It hasn't clicked, and after 15 seconds, which is configured in my configuration, it is giving the timeout exception, and it says that it is waiting for this locator and it is able to find as well. But when it is trying to click on it, it is saying that element is not visible and then it is going for retry. So why it is happening? Why Playwright is not able to click on the element here, which is created using area tag. Now, what will happen if you try to use Selenium here? So I have already created simple class in Selenium. You can see I'm launching a Chrome browser, same HTML file, and then using the XPath, I'm going to perform click. Let me run and see what happens. So you can see page has been loaded and it is waiting for 5 seconds and then it should be able to click on North America area. So Selenium is able to click, but Playwright is not. So you might be thinking why even it is happening. So for Playwright, visibility of element or rendering of the web element is very much important. That means visibility for Playwright is not equal to visibility for Selenium. Selenium will try to click on the element if the element is present in the DOM, but Playwright will only click if the element is properly rendered or visible on browser. And we know that Playwright logic is strictly user-like behavior. So you might be thinking, what is the alternative? So this area tag has href attribute. So here instead of directly clicking on the area, we can use get attribute and fetch the value of href. And this attribute value we can pass into goto method. So let me store this value first, and now I can call await page.goto and pass the href value, but it is giving some error, and if you mouse over it says that argument of type string or null is not assignable to parameter of type string. Type null is not assignable to type string. What does it mean? So this method might return null also, and this goto method is not expecting null. So when we have a proper href value, then this will work, but when it is null, then it might give the error. That's why it is complaining that null cannot be assigned to string. So here I'm going to do a forceful declaration like href will always have a value. So we can use exclamatory mark here. Now let me run the test. So you can see test is passed, and if I go to browser, you can see North America has been loaded in a tab. So this is workaround. Here instead of explicitly clicking on the area element, I am getting the href and loading it, but an end user will try to click on the highlighted part. So this is different from the end user experience, but this is the way we need to do in Playwright if you want to click on area elements. So I hope you find this concept little interesting, and if you have any doubt, please comment on this video. And if you like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with others. Thank you, everyone.